Dr. Andy here. Today I want to talk about carpal tunnel syndrome, what it is, how do you get it, and then also how we diagnose it here in the office, okay? Because it is actually a very common misdiagnosis, meaning that people come in all the time and they're like, hey, someone told me I have carpal tunnel syndrome, we need to have this looked at, and I'm like, awesome, fantastic, let's kind of take a little history, and then they'll do a quick little exam. It turns out either you don't have the right diagnosis or you do, so it is important to kind of do a really good exam on this, okay? So carpal tunnel syndrome, okay? You probably have heard it. Obviously, it's going to affect your hand. A lot of time you are going to get numbness, maybe some tingling, and also we can get weakness as well. All right, but the distribution of it is really important. What I mean by that is that a big part of how we are able to diagnose whether it is carpal tunnel syndrome or it's not, maybe something else is going on, is where in the hand it affects you, okay? So a lot of times people are coming in and say, oh, it's my entire hand, I'm getting the entire thing, it's really, tingling and weak, a lot of numbness, there's all this pain. We can immediately basically say, well, then it's not carpal tunnel syndrome, because carpal tunnel syndrome really has a very specific distribution, okay? So on Miss Regina here, we actually took some kinesio tape and we put it on her, so it's really easy to see, okay? So the carpal tunnel syndrome is actually compression of the median nerve. So the median nerve is coming down from the neck, down through the front of the forearm, and then it goes right underneath this green tape that you see here. This green tape is actually, it's a visual representation of a transverse ligament. So it's a ligament that's going across or transversing the carpal tunnel, okay? Carpal tunnel is actually, this was exactly what it's called. It's a little tunnel that sits underneath that ligament, which is where the median nerve runs through, okay? So it's a pretty small little opening, which is why it leads to symptoms later on, how we can get compression through there, okay? So that nerve is going to go down and then it innervates, meaning it runs through these three fingers right here. So when we get carpal tunnel, what you're going to experience is you're going to experience numbness, tingling, and weakness starting at the tips of the thumb, pointer, and middle finger, and it's going to slowly start to make its way towards the palm. So when it's really, really bad, you're going to get all through these three fingers and all through the middle of the palm, all right? And even you can get weakness in what we call the thenar pad, which is the thumb pad, kind of like the muscle part right through here, and it can actually start to like waste away as well, okay? So carpal tunnel syndrome comes from compression of the median nerve. So right through here, right underneath the green tape, the nerve is going to get pinched. It can get pinched from like repetitive injury, like typing away at the computer. It can get pinched from like inflammation, from trauma. There's even a couple of other like medications and swelling that can actually cause that as well, okay? So when you come in the office and you've been maybe diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome from someone else, or you are afraid that it's happened to you, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a really good case history. We're going to ask, where in the hand are you being affected? If we got anything in the pinky or the ring finger, then we know it's not carpal tunnel syndrome. Maybe we need to work our way up towards the elbow, maybe even the neck as the cause of the problem, okay? So take a really good history in terms of where the problem is, and there's a couple of good tests that we can actually get in here, and if we can stress this area, do me a favor, I want you to take the backs of your hands and put them like this for me together. There you go, and your elbows down as much as you can. What we're doing, and push them together hard. What we're doing right there is we're actually compressing the carpal tunnel right there, and if you have carpal tunnel syndrome, it's going to pinch that nerve even more, and you're going to start to get the tingling in through the fingers, okay? So thank you very much. Again, so carpal tunnel, it is compression of the median nerve coming down through the forearm and into these three fingers. We're going to get tingling, numbness, and even some weakness once it gets really, really bad, and it's being pinched right underneath this transverse ligament, okay? So if that sounds like something that you are dealing with, give us a call. We're happy to take a look at it for you and let you know what we can do for you, okay? If you have any questions, always send them our way, and always remember to live with passion, not pain.